The $5,000 budget build Ford Shoebox is in full frickin' swing. Check this out. You know, we got the master cylinder mounted, the brake pedals mounted, the throttle pedals mounted. We have a firewall all the way around. It's on both sides. It's done. It's checked off the box. It's all welded up. It's finished. It's finito. So where do we go from here? I really don't know, but I think I'm gonna start untangling this garbage because that's a mess and it takes up a lot of room and I kind of want it off my floor. And we start just kind of draping her where she kind of needs to be because, you know, the motor's all mounted, the tranny's all mounted, nothing's gonna move. Fingers crossed, nothing's gonna move. So I think on today's video, we're gonna start laying the wiring harness out, maybe plug a few things in, maybe even see if we can't get her to do a little I wouldn't hold your breath on that one though. Nope, I sure wouldn't. What is this switch panel? Oh yeah, that's four-wheel drive and stuff. We don't have four-wheel drive anymore. Oops, broke it. Two-wheel drive, baby. Hell yeah. All right, enough screwing around. Let's get to work. Now this is a huge tangled mess and I don't even know where to start. I mean, it's heavy. There's so much going on here. I think I'm gonna start reducing some of it in the weight department, like drop the IDM off, drop the computer off, maybe any other module I think I can get dropped off for now and I can plug it all back in later because there's just so much here. I don't know how to drape it so it all works. Maybe I'll find the engine harness and go from there. I don't know.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything.
Okay, we have an even spread out more mess now, which is cool. Gotta trust the process. I have a plan. It's probably not gonna work, but we're gonna try anyways. I pulled the transmission harness off to reduce some weight. That's easy enough to plug back in. I hope I remembered to mark those. I might have to make sure I mark those. There's still more here I think I can eliminate. I just haven't done it yet. I wanna get the thing started and running before I start cutting too many wires and really get myself in a pickle because that would be sucky. But anywho, so we got the engine harness hooked back up. This is a lot of HVAC stuff on there, but I think my starter solenoid cables, wires on there, and it's got the mass airflow sensor on it, so I'll be able to strip everything out except for like probably 4 wires. So we just kind of chucked her over there. I gotta mount the computer somewhere. So I think this is a good place to do it. This is my firewall cutout that I use for mounting my brake master cylinder, my brake pedal and all that jazz. This is where the computer would mount in a stock configuration. So I'm just gonna cut this little section out here, make a hole for it there, and we're gonna weld it on the inside, and then the computer can mount in a stock-ish configuration. It protects it from the weather. It's just all around a good idea, I think. I mean, where else am I ain't got no room anywhere else. And hopefully that'll be a good idea. I don't know. We're gonna do it though. Now, don't look too closely at them welds. You'll be, well, you won't be surprised. I don't have dimes just to stack dimes. I've got dimes, nickels, pennies, quarters. So I stack assorted change. And I'm hoping I just pop this guy right in here. Oh yeah. She's gonna work perfect. I think we're gonna be fine. Let's just do an old checkaroo here and see how much space this thing needs. I mean, if it goes in that far, we'll be A-okay. Okay, so I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous she's gonna stick out too far. It's a little more taut than I thought it was gonna be. What do you do? I don't know. So I shoved it up in there. That wheel cannot come up any higher. It is bottomed out. Zero possibilities of it coming up higher. If it comes up higher, we got bigger issues because she is bottomed out. I rotated it to the right. Plenty of clearance. I'm sure if I went left, there'd be plenty of clearance. So we're just gonna go for it. And if somebody says that's wrong, we'll address it then. Would have been really smart if I had brought the welder stinger and the ground with me, but no, we don't do that here. All right, now maybe we're ready. I didn't weld it solid because, I mean, the computer weighs 36 ounces? That's not true. I don't know how much it weighs, but it's not very much, so it should be fine. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. We need to let that cool before we add the rubber grommet back though. Otherwise, we will have a melted rubber grommet, pretty sure.
Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make.
I believe I got the transmissions all wired and plugged in where it's supposed to be. All these plugs are plugged in. The steering column's all plugged in. Steering column's all plugged in. The dash is all plugged in. Did you know in a Ford PowerStroke and 4R100 application, you need a module inside that gauge cluster to tell the transmission how fast you're going so it knows when to shift? I do now. So we gotta work that into the equation somewhere and kind of keep it. Oh, a hatchback. Nobody cares. Anyways, yeah.
Believe kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spread.
We got the fuel lines all hooked up, the fuel pumps all hooked up, everything is in here. No, my diesel tank isn't a yellow can, it's red. I wrote a D on it. It's fine. I know what's in there. Then I put the D inside the box. The shoebox. Get your mind out of the gutter. So I think we're just gonna hook the battery up, see what kind of leaks we got somewhere. This is gonna spit coolant out. That I already know. I wonder if I have a piece of pipe. Maybe we can just join them together. I got some random exhaust pieces. Maybe we can make something work. Is this a good or bad idea? Who knows, really? You know, this typically requires two much larger batteries. And I have them that I can use. Problem is, I put them in the Nova because I was driving that. So, hopefully this Model A battery will do the trick. I didn't hear any noises, so maybe the key's not on. I just remembered I haven't got any of the grounds hooked up yet. That would probably help. Let's see what this is saying. We got crankage. But I do not hear the fuel pump. Is it possible I missed another ground? Well, I hooked that wire harness back up. When I did that, after the camera was off, we had smoke coming from down there somewhere. Still didn't figure out where that was from. But it's not smoking now, so either it's ruined, whatever it was, or it's fixed. I don't know. I really don't know. Can't find anything that was warm. I don't know if it was in the steering column or... I have no idea. So we're just gonna go with it. I figured out why I didn't have a fuel pump. There's the emergency shutoff was tripped. So we're just gonna hit the key and see what happens. She almost went. No apparent leaks of any kind. That's pretty good for me. All right, crank it over again. I didn't know what was falling. I just heard shit falling.
Everything I've got it over here.
Oh, she's smoky. But it runs again, so now we can start figuring out some things, like what wires we can get rid of. I want to start by eliminating grounds. Let's start by eliminating this one right here. All right, crank it over again. Yeah. So happy it runs though. So I suppose now a guy can just start, like all these wires. I mean, I already knew I didn't need some of them anyways. Like, this is for the HVAC. These are for headlights. We're just gonna start peeling it open and get what I need out of it, because this is the starter solenoid wire, so I need that. This is the mass airflow sensor, so we need that. Glad I opened the garage door. We'll just keep dwindling the wires down and just keep restarting it after I make any major changes and go from there. That's all we can do now. Then we can start fishing it all into the cab where it needs to go and figure out where all the modules are gonna go, because I think I need more modules than I wanted. Like, that's a module, that's a module, that's a module. I don't want any of them, but I will accept what I have to. Sweet.
Hiding all around my room, my world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
I cut a bunch of this up. I really hope I'm not screwing this up. I'm doing my best to take it slow and be patient with it. But some of these wires for the HVAC system, you know, you cut them out here and then you feed further into the harness and there's extra wires fused together with them. I'm guessing I don't need those extra wires either, because I'm guessing it's all part of the same system, I hope. But I want to make sure she still starts and runs before I cut them and then after I cut them. So hopefully it still starts and runs now. I don't know. I cut a lot of wires. We have no fuel pump. Oh, I have to turn the key all the way on. Give her the beans! Let's hope it's only a glow plug issue and not an issue because I cut too many wires already. Oh, you know what? Ha 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 ha. You want to unplug that? Mm-hmm. I know why it won't start. I'm a genius sometimes. I disconnected the IDM so I could maneuver wires easier. This is the injection delivery module, I think is what they call it. So you ain't gonna have fuel without this baby plugged in. So let's try that once. Now what kind of noises do we get? There's the smoke.
You got your smoke.
There's the smoke. It's not cranking fast enough. It's giving me hope. We got smoke. It's cold. It's Minnesota. Alright, what do we got going on here? Why are we struggling? It cranks good, and then it slows down so much that it won't do anything. It sucks. By the time it gets to the point where it starts going under fire, it's when the charger trips out.
Dies.
This is disappointing. So it still runs. We're gonna cut some wires here and see if she still wants to start. So there's a load of stuff we can start cutting through and eliminating here. Hell yeah. Whew, she's hard to keep my eyes not burning in here. It's like, not nice. It's like being in a bonfire and that smoke is constantly in your freaking face. It's just vacuum to your face. Oh, it's not nice. But it smells wonderful. I don't think you guys truly understand just how happy I am about this running in the car with the body on and everything. This is a lot to do yet, but freaking awesome. Holy balls. That is a lot of wire. We have removed so much wire. I should weigh it, but I probably won't because I don't care that much. But look at just, that's all the garbage I've removed so far. So the wiring harness is considerably smaller. I gotta get a bunch out of here yet, but it's kind of tucked in the corner. I'm gonna take it off the computer and just do it that way. But we gotta get this cleaned up, and then I think I'm gonna start spreading the harness out because I need to untangle it. I mean, we got the power cord through, underneath, over. The wires for the cluster are all tangled up, so we need to spread it out and get it to a point where we can start looping it back up and tightening it up and making it not such a mess. It does still start. Fuel pump goes. I'm all right with that. I do have to get rid of some more wiring yet. I gotta delete my PATs so I can get rid of this stupid chip key. So I gotta do that before I get on the old computer and do that before I start cutting that out of there. What else? I'm gonna eliminate this inertia switch. I think it's an inertia switch for the fuel shutoff because we just don't need those problems. And then I gotta figure out the key switch situation because where you turn the key here, it actually pushes a rod that does all the magic down here in this little box. So we got to rework that wiring a little bit. So I haven't stripped any of that yet. So there's still a little more we can strip. But we are sitting pretty good. These plugs over here, I eliminated every wire off of this plug, so we can eliminate this plug. I eliminated half the wires off of this one and all but 2 wires off this one. So I'm thinking I'm going to take the 2 wires off this one, run them through this plug, and then eliminate that plug as well. So we'll be down to just 1 plug versus the 4 that are, or the 3 that were on there. I think there was 1 more. I don't know where it is though. I might have already cut it off. Who knows? It's a lot to keep track of, and back and forth from notes, tracing wires, making sure we know where everything's going. It's been a bit of a process, but I'm liking how much less wiring there is from, you know, because all that was over here and it's not anymore. It's just gone. And everything seems to still work. We did have a couple mishaps. We cut the wire for the throttle pedal, but we found that. We also cut a wire for the dash cluster. Backtracked that and found that as well, so we're okay. It still starts. Don't know if it'll shift or not electronically because, you know, we can't test that yet. So I haven't even touched the harness off the transmission, and I don't intend to unless something is wrong when I start trying to drive the thing. So yeah, I think we're gonna get this mess cleaned up, stretch this harness out, and go from there. We are doing our freaking damnedest here. I thought I had this all planned out, how this was all gonna go. Like I showed you, I already mounted my freaking computer. It's wrong. It's all gonna move. It ain't gonna work. I just don't have enough room for everything in this one part of the car. From the throttle to the master cylinder, the brake pedal, the computer, the IDM. It just, there's no freaking room here anymore. I have a solution though, I think. I got something figured out here. I've been in and around and all over this damn car. Trying to figure out what to do, and this is what I'm gonna do, at least in this stage in the juncture. This is the main harness that comes out to the motor. Other than what hooks to the transmission and the computers, near the rest of it is inside the car. So we're just gonna snake that around the back side of the motor. I'll figure out how to get it through my trans cover when I make that, And we're gonna mount a bunch of crap on that side of the car. That's what we're gonna do. I can extend some wires if I need to. I can shorten wires if I need to. I mean, that wire harness is a lot less than it was. I mean, here's the results. There's still a lot that could probably come out of there. I'm just pulling the pin on that for now and just dealing with what I got, because time, I've been at it for a week and that's as far as I've gotten. So I gotta keep moving forward. I gotta be able to drive this thing. I don't want to take too many wires and then realize, oh crap, I took something out for the transmission I shouldn't have done that. Whoops. Yep. So we'll get her running. We'll figure out where all the wiring's gonna go. Then we'll start shortening things and everything else down the line in the future. Probably not. That's a lie. The cluster, still not sure what we're gonna do about that yet. I know I need it to run the transmission. At least that's what I've heard. So we have to put it in here somewhere. I just don't know how I'm gonna work it into the equation. So yeah, I'm gonna figure out how we're gonna mount some of the stuff and we'll get after it. Man, I hope you guys appreciate this idea as much as I think it's genius. Maybe it's not genius. I was really struggling with how I'm gonna get wiring harnesses routed where they're not interfering and just kind of smash between two things. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I didn't have any big grommets. I didn't have any way to cut nice circular holes. Then I came up with a solution. I still haven't tested the theory to make sure it's gonna work, so if it fails, you'll see that. But I cut this out. This is the original Ford Excursion where the steering column went through the floor. I saved this out of the firewall. It also has this really huge grommet that I initially thought was gonna use for my steering column. Well, it didn't pan out, so I still had it. So then I decided, maybe it'll work for this situation. It'll work for this situation. There, I get a grommet. I can put the large wire loom through there. This is genius. I mean, it's a bit bulky looking, but it's what I got, so that's what I'm gonna use. Hell yeah, perfect, genius. I'm pretty proud of myself over this one. Now we just gotta get her buzzed in quick and we'll be set to route some wires, remount the frickin' thingy-mabobber. I still don't know where that's gonna go. The computer doohickey thing, maybe it can go on the back wall. I don't know, we gotta figure it out. One thing at a time. One piece of the puzzle at a time, as they say. Peep the new welding gloves. Harbor Freight, baby. Just a few stitch welds should suffice. Probably should let that cool off before we try and put the grommet in there, otherwise we might have a little melting issue. But I think it's gonna work. Yeah, push, get in there, get in your hole. It's like that scene from Ace Ventura when he comes out of the back of the rhino.
The mother rhino is giving birth.
Perfect. I'm doing all this now before it's in the firewall because the firewall's still hot. So we can do this part, and then when it's cooled off, we'll stuff the whole works in there, feed the wires, and we'll be good to go. All right. Yes. So with this setup, I'm gonna be able to have the engine harness out there that I need, and the plugs for the transmission, and everything else can stay inside the car. I don't need anything else out there. The only other thing that would typically be out there would be the IDM, but I don't know where to put it, so I'm just gonna put it wherever the wires reach. Ooh, I just thought for a second I put that grommet on backwards. Doesn't burn me, it's good enough. Oh, we're stuck. We're stuck. Oh, come on. I mean, that's pretty freaking good, right? Look at that. I'm still gonna get wire harness wrap, but I haven't done that yet. I got both my IDM and my computer plugs are right here. Here's all the other plugs, wherever they go. Some of these go to the fuse panel. I'm just gonna stuff it all right in this corner. I mean, how good is that? I like it, I like it, I like it. Went and hacked the corner off of the tab, I guess you would say, not a corner. The tab off of this, where it would bolt to in the stock Ford location. I think we're just gonna weld this baby in here. The computer slides in and out, and if I need to, I can remove the plastic here, no problem. So, I don't see a reason why we can't just buzz this thing in here. And then once the dash is on here, I'll be able to open the glove box and have access right to it. It's perfect. That's assuming that the dash will still fit with all the modifications I've made. I haven't bothered to check that yet. I probably should turn my gas back on. That would be smart. Now let's see if we can put a successful tack up in there. That should hold. I mean, I think that's gonna work mint. Oh boy, I don't what I'll probably have to, is that's not gonna work. I've only got one bolt out and it's already doing that. It's not the end of the world though. I think I can just I'll take and weld a strap from this side, underneath and around, and that'll help support it. Because those two bolts holding the plastic at the end, they ain't gonna cut it. Let's be real honest. So we can do that. I'll probably weld something in here, just kind of give it some support there. But yeah, we'll just weld the strap down and around and up and underneath there. I don't know if that's showing up on camera very well or not, but you'll understand, right? You get it, because we just can't have that noise. I mean, not like I'll hear the noise, but that's gonna break and fall. Here's my solution for the floppy computer issue we have. I had a leftover section of 1/2-inch flat stock, just some scrap laying around. I kind of bent her up here. We'll weld her up into place, and that'll help support that whole computer, so she doesn't want to do that crappy floppy whatchacallit thing anymore. So that'll be that issue taken care of, and then we'll probably get a support kicker in here. I'm just gonna buzz this in quick while I'm here. I don't know why I continue to try and tack with my eyes closed. It never works for me. See the guys on TV do it all the time and it comes out perfect. Me? Miss. 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 Every freaking time. It only melted. That screw's probably gone now. Oh, found it. Found it. As I was saying, it only melted a little bit. It's fine. Where'd my light go? Why can't I see that? Well, that went a little more difficultly than it should have. It should hold. She don't look pretty, but it should hold. Well, took some more of that 1/2-inch steel. We're just gonna weld a little support in there. That'll help support the weight on the front of this thing. And then I think this thing can be officially mounted. again for the second time. You know what they say, if it's the first time you don't succeed, just do it again, because that's really your only other option, or give up. And I don't plan on giving up. So again, it is. If I could stop losing my gloves, that would be helpful. Oh yeah, she's good and solid now. She ain't going nowhere, no how, I hope, probably. Fingers crossed. Yes, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I want to make sure it cools off just a smidge before I go and, you know, force plastic into the hole. Cooled off now a little bit. Shove this in the hole and see how we look. Ooh, I want the extension. Definitely want the extension. Hopefully this is its actual final resting place now. Oh, that's plenty sturdy. Plenty sturdy. Where's the pewter? Where's the pewter? There's the pewter. Beautiful. I hope the dash fits. If not, we'll cross that bridge then. Maybe we'll do something different for a dash. I don't know these things. Now we just got to figure out the other monstrosity. Wherever I lost it. There it is. Kind of wondering if I can just mount it right below it. It's just, I mean, it's freaking huge. I just don't know. Plus, I still gotta figure out where the hell I'm gonna mount the fuse block. You know what that sounds like? A problem for another day. Thanks for watching.